We got it. So I can download it. Hopefully. I would just imagine like it's gonna be like I actually I think that would be yeah, I would say
I'm sure it's awesome, but Father Jim. Alrighty, everyone, welcome back to Senate. We are going to start with prayer. So, Gary, can you lead that?
Father, Son, Spirit. Lord, bless us today in Senate. Help us with our first Senate meeting without a transition, without those before us. Let us fill their shoes the best that we can moving forward. Also to all the new senators, this is their first meeting coming today. Lord, pray for them that they can carry out their duties and represent their halls. And during this Lenten season, let us always remember to be grateful and to really just have peace and know that you are carrying us always and always have our backs. Now let's pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Awesome. We're going to go to roll call. I have a little cough today, so apologies in advance, but yeah. Okay, guys, for my first question of the day, what is your favorite potato chip flavor? Also, if I say your name incorrectly, please let me know. Michael Camilleri? Michael? Starting off strong. Okay, Madison Denfield.
Regular.
Matthew Dunn.
barbecue.
Destiny Harris. Destiny Harris? Okay. Charlie Bacon.
Salt.
Caitlin Curtin.
Salt and vinegar.
Richard Camus.
Barbecue.
Pat Thiessen.
Regular, but the kettle ones.
Okay. Kyle Lochner.
Regular.
Andy Tonko.
Sour cream and onion.
Luke Williams.
Dill pickle.
Josephine Oiladoy. Taryn Wilson. Olivia Murin. Mm-hmm. And what's your favorite potato chip flavor? Michelle Savarino.
Just regular.
Edward Curry.
Barbecue.
Jack Rankin.
Salt.
John Gibbons.
Barbecue.
Adeline Clemmer.
Barbecue.
Kate Rector.
Barbecue.
Anna Carlisle.
And sour cream and onion.
Joey McClelland.
Salt and vinegar.
Connor Klimlek. So Lindsay Lark. Nathan Ward. Angelica Cerna.
The big glaze.
Riley Evers.
Vinegar.
Elena Rosen. Bourbon salsa. Ben Solom.
Sour cream and onion.
James Colley. Michael Heffernan. Kyle Kozaleski.
Barbecue.
Okay. Laurel Hamilton.
Pig pie, kettle cooks, but from the Costco bag that's like bigger than my face.
Okay. Z Zabla.
Zavala.
Zavala.
Sour cream and onion.
Okay. Patrick Mulligan.
He's on his way.
Okay. Walker Bagley.
Let's go jalapeno kettle.
Michaela Copley.
I don't know if she's on her way.
Okay. Emma Herring. Salt and vinegar. Eamon Tracy.
Regular.
Benton Fisher.
Barbecue.
Aaliyah Applin.
Original.
Diego Gonzalez.
Sea salt.
Rose Wynn.
Barbecue.
Kelsey Casella.
Roxy, I like food.
Okay. Leo Wong.
Yeah, I like the original Pringles.
Danny Ward.
Kettle.
Elijah Jones. Sam Robertson.
Sea salt and vinegar potato chips.
Me, Catherine Morrissey, also sea salt and vinegar.
Only way to go.
Yeah. Joseph Tooney. Megan Klein. Barry Bielhauer.
Yeah, here, kettle chips with sour cream and onion dip.
Okay. Sonia Lovely.
Barbecue. I don't really like chips though.
Okay. If anyone who just walked in who's also a voting member is supposed to be here, could you raise your hand Nathan Ward, right?
Yeah,
Okay, what's your favorite potato chip flavor?
I'm a council guy too.
Absolutely. Okay. And then also, guys, I have a small request because we're all getting to know each other's names. If when you speak today, and like honestly, probably next week as well, if you could just say your name before you speak, that's going to help everyone know each other's names and also make the minutes a lot easier for me. Thank you. Okay, awesome. We need a motion for the approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes?
We'll now vote on the motion to approve the minutes. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Okay, awesome. They're approved. Awesome. Oh, you need it. Here we are. Executive announcements. Okay. As you see linked on the agenda, there is a Senate prayer form. So just so we're not having the same people pray every Senate, that is opportunity to, just put your name and offer to pray. Next Senate, we'll have Elijah do the prayer. And then next Senate directory.
Yeah, and so we do have the Senate directory. Please fill that out whenever you get a chance. Just put your photo and fill out a little information about yourself. I did just want to make a brief announcement on this lines in alignment with this as to who is like officially a voting member of Senate, just so that there isn't any confusion, because obviously there are a lot of voting members and a lot of non-voting members. So the people who can vote and propose motions, so the only people who can vote on motions or propose motions or vote on like resolutions and stuff like that, or orders and stuff, are the senators from each dorm, the off-campus senators, all of the class presidents, the CCC president, and then the off-campus president and vice president. So those are the only positions who can officially vote in Senate. So if you have any questions regarding that, like, please just feel free to let me know or raise a hand for clarification, raise a point of inquiry, and we're more than happy to clarify it throughout the meeting.
Awesome. So now the Senate proxy form, I sent you guys an email regarding information around that. Remember, sending a proxy goes towards your excused absences, and you have six for the term. Okay, next is general orders.
Motion to dispense with the reading. Second.
We'll now vote on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? The motion is dispensed with. We are now in questioning.
Department of Student Athlete Relations work, like if someone wanted an NIL offer.
Yeah, Jerry?
Yeah, so the Department of Student Relations is mainly going to be to help create a bigger connection between the student body in general, as well as the student athletes. As we know, with like NIL happening, there's a lot more separation, I'd say, with student athletes and the student body as a whole. Robbie's also here today, and he can speak a little bit to this as well. But we would like to, this was a department that existed about 2 years ago. And now, especially with the evolving landscape with NIL, and also with a number of athletes potentially being cut next year with new legislation changes to NIL, there's going to be a lot going on in that sphere that we want to address as student government and give student athletes a place to be represented that they don't currently have. So, and Robbie, you can speak a little bit more to it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Like Jerry said, it was a department that existed 2 years ago, and the NCAA is a very different world than it was 2 years ago. There was a House settlement on Monday that's still going on for the next 3 weeks, but that's unlocking $2.4 billion for the last 8 years of college athletes to be paid back to them, and potentially $20 million for each Power 5 school opening up next year. And also with that, there's potentially 6,000 athletes nationwide who are going to be cut. And so there's a lot of issues that are happening, not issues, but things that need to be addressed in the athletic world. And I think it's creating a lot of distancing between athletes and students here on campus. And I came in to school here not wanting to be kind of added that stereotype where it's the people you see in the park is in backpacks around campus and then all the other students. I wanted to help erase that kind of stereotype and that narrative. So I think that's really important to me coming in, being involved in campus, being involved in my dorm. And this is a newer department, especially with all the new things that are happening. So I'd love to answer any questions about any of the initiatives that hopefully I can put out, and if you have any feedback about those.
Of the Department of Campus Nutrition, how will it be different from Health and Wellness?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry?
Yeah, definitely. Great question. So health and wellness obviously encompasses a lot of things. I'm a personal trainer, that's something that is really near and dear to my heart with wellness in terms of nutrition, in terms of fitness, in terms of really just the whole scale of things, right? Mental health and wellness as well. There's so much of that goes into our daily lives here at Notre Dame. And as Notre Dame students, we're very stressed. We have a lot going on. So there's a lot of elements that student government can't help us with in the day-to-day. So I would say that health and wellness will focus more on like the mental health resources like UHS, UCC, as well as things like water quality along with university policy. But there's a lot of more things in the like the wellness of campus as well. I mean, on our policy, we talked a lot about some of those initiatives, like fitness in general is another thing, right? While nutrition is going to focus solely on the dining hall. So I think we can all kind of tell from our like constituents and norms, everyone, that nutrition is a very big concern of everyone here on campus and something that's very important to everyone. So we thought it made a lot of sense to have a department dedicated to that when there's so much going on in that sphere, especially because Student Life currently had part of their initiatives that dealt with nutrition. And they also have a lot on their plate in terms of planning these very large scale events for the student body. So by allowing them to focus more on the programming side of things, we can take some of that policy with meetings with the dining halls, for example, and move that to the Department of Nutrition. And Juliana is here as well, and she can kind of talk a bit more to that additionally. But like things like the gluten-free and other allergy sections are very limited in the dining hall, as well as things on the side of flex points and meal swipes and different conversations that could happen there that nutrition will deal with that health and wellness currently is not.
I can speak a little bit more. I'm Juliana, for those who don't know me, and I would be the prospective director of campus nutrition if confirmed today. Some of the things we've like to work on, as Jerry mentioned, health and wellness did a lot towards nutrition, and student life did a lot towards nutrition. But what those other departments did, they again had so much on their plate. So having this divided and more centered campus nutrition focus. There are a lot of things that we need to address. For example, the long lines in grab and go, and also the inaccessibility of grab and go. If we have two classes back to back with maybe a 10-minute difference in BVAR, how am I supposed to walk to South Dining Hall and back, or North Dining Hall and back? And that's why we want to implement new things, such as possibly a new grab and go spot in Duncan, and those things cannot be addressed by health and wellness or student life, because again, they're planning events or focusing more on expanding counseling services to our students. So that's just one example of main things that we would do. Also addressing students with intolerances and allergies. They're on the rise now, and as someone who for 2 years has lived here and eaten at the dining halls and had experience of cross-contamination and mislabeling, that made me sick and could have been worse. It doesn't affect just me. It affects a multitude of students on this campus. And what we need to do is have that feedback and have those surveys so that we are served safely and as we deserve when we're here. So that feedback is very important. And again, continuing those committee meetings with other students to make sure that our voices are heard, that our nutrition needs are met.
What's your flex point?
Can you say your name? Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I'm Jack. I'm Senator from Kiev. What's your flex point, kind of like meal flexibility policies that you're thinking about changing in that sphere?
Right. So, go ahead. You want to take that?
Yeah. I can see a little time too if you want, but like just originally to answer it, I would say like obviously flex points, some people have fought for a while, and it's not like a guarantee that we just increase flex points. But I think that having campus nutrition department on its own will help us be able to have the conversation with administrators and a more centralized effort there, and to talk about, all right, like can we possibly have less swipe and more flex point options for freshmen and sophomores, because obviously we know that there's only the block 50 and block 230, which is very frustrating because a lot of those swipes go to waste. So that's one example of that, I would say. And if I can see that.
Yeah, absolutely. So as of right now, campus dining has 6 meal plans, and 2 of them are only offered to seniors. And while some of them could be part of our department, and what we need to address is the counter arguments that we get from these during. And one would be if we expand certain, like an increase of flex points and a decreased number of swipes to first years, that could be kind of detrimental in like social. For example, if I only have 180 swipes and I'm at the end of the semester and I'm limiting like the dining halls is where we communicate, it's where we learn, and it's where we make our friendships. And that could be detrimental necessarily to first years. So maybe starting small and expanding, and then we could expand so we could increase the number or opportunities for us to select and choose what kind of meal option we want. And we would start with the upperclassmen, so juniors and seniors, and then going to the sophomores and then addressing first years as well.
Williams, and I'm the senator from Fisher Hall. I wanted to ask about the swipes in Gravendale and like what y'all's ideas are on, potentially increasing the value of a swipe in the Gravendale, because it's only, I think, 7 points, and maybe it could be more. I don't know if that's something that people are thinking about.
Yeah, Jerry.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, definitely something that is, part of our platform and something we want to talk to commissioners about.
So this is Madison. I was wondering, Jerry, you'd mentioned that the athlete cabinet or department had been here 2 years ago. What happened to it?
Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, it was removed, just like in a lot of years, departments are removed, are changed, are added, are combined. It's, kind of how it works here, and every year it's just kind of how it goes. So I don't know of any like big problems they had necessarily that was like, oh, this is not working, we have to cut it. It was kind of like, well, they had our priorities just like every administration has.
Awesome.
So regarding the combination of the departments, diversity, inclusion, race, ethnicity, and Department of International Engagement, my constituents reached out. Oh, by the way, Kyle Lockman from Don Ball. My constituents reached out to me and gave me kind of like 3 big questions that they wanted me to ask. So I'm hoping to go through those. My first one is, will this combination be associated with the funding cut?
Jerry. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, we are taking both those previous departments, then putting them together and make sure that we are not like losing much programming there, as well as like trying to empower those departments, because they have very similar programming in terms of like cultural affairs and things like that we can then like work together on to make like larger and larger, more scale events that more people will be able to go to rather than like more isolated events. And also considering that the international engagement department was brand new last year and had a little bit of a hard time kind of getting started, I think that this just makes a lot more sense there. Because in Dorian, he's going to be one of our directors this year. He became the director, but he like talked about how it was very difficult getting people to show up to these meetings and how it was just kind of like a bit disjointed. And so by having these departments together, I think we'll have a much more strong effort for those initiatives.
Yeah, and having those overlapping goals and fostering a globally inclusive community here at Notre Dame is something that we want. We have Andres here who will potentially be the director if you have additional questions. Yep.
So my second question is, so I assume, will this combination result in a staffing reduction?
Like I said, so last year's department was new and there actually weren't any members that showed up at the meetings. So at that point for the international engagement department, it was just the department director. So it's going to be the same amount because of the lack of members contributing at all last year.
And we got many applicants for this department, so it will be in full.
So my third and final one is, so the 2022 Campus Inclusivity Survey indicated a decline in feelings of belonging among most Notre Dame students. And you talk about this measure kind of like increasing the focus on this, so like with this cultural overlap. So I had trouble articulating examples of cultural overlap to the international students. So can you share some of those with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let Sonia talk a little bit more to this, but I'll say that like on the inclusivity survey, we just talked to Father Jerry yesterday actually about like the survey and kind of implementing those results from this past year's survey as well. So I just want to like make sure that's definitely something that is going to be a priority for the department. But
I mean, a lot of students, as said, don't feel belonging here on campus. I mean, both groups, people that identify. I mean, I know I've been in all those cultural spaces. And what we want to do here is there is a separation between international students and domestic students that are racially diverse. And we want to bring that together, and hence that's why there's a consolidation of these two departments.
Can you talk a little bit more like specifically about the funding, because we're adding on new departments, like how does Our other departments needing less money now, how's this gonna work?
Yeah, you could go.
Yeah, that's a great question. So, I totally get that concern about funding. To address that concern, I'll just like let you know that the student athlete relations department is going to be a very, very policy focused department. And with works, we're working with the Department of Athletics. We're going to be collaborating with them on some events and be able to kind of help use their funding for things. But I mean, outside of maybe some collaboration with the Department of Athletics, it'd be very policy focused, it'd be very minimal to no spending in that department. Additionally, the Department of Campus Nutrition, kind of the same thing. That's me working a lot with Donnie Halls on policy, which is little to no spending whatsoever. So those bigger programming departments like student life, right? Those are going to have much more funding. And also additionally, something like the diversity and inclusion, racial, ethnic, and international engagement, right? That's going to be a situation where that's a lot of funding. But those are the ones again places where we're not necessarily adding departments. We are just kind of putting these together and working to have more sponsors with expanding that or with the consolidation. But the two added departments really are not adding to the budget whatsoever. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even add for our event that everybody knows, the Black Excellence Dinner. We plan to have a keynote speaker this year and make it a great event. So, yeah, no programming is going down in any sense. There's no more questions or motion to move out of it. Question.
Motion to move out of questioning and debate.
We'll now vote on the motion to moving out of questioning and into debate. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Okay, awesome. Passes. Okay, now we're gonna go to item B. Oh,
Yes, we need to debate.
debate. Oh, so sorry, guys. I'm sick. Okay, we're now in debate.
Laurel Hamilton, Wall Sumner. I have a really great.
Yeah.
Like, what's the difference between questioning and debate?
Yes.
I don't really know what the difference is.
So for the rule aspect for questioning and debate, so in questioning, you're not like arguing a specific side for an argument, right? You're asking general questions about the document itself or the nominations itself. So in questioning like this, we were asking what the potential policy impacts of this change could be, which does fall in like kind of the realm of questioning. But like now senators can state their opinions on the issue, whereas in questioning, you can't be like, I think this is an awful proposal or I think this is an amazing proposal. So this is like a more opinion-based debate regarding the proposal, if that makes sense.
Okay, so like the questioning is like clarification,
Yes.
and then debate is your opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
That's like the best way to put it. Yeah, no, more questions the better. And yeah, points of inquiry are how you ask questions. So if you do, just raise your hand.
Okay, we are now in debate. Apologies.
Department of Nutrition sounds really good. I'm signing for it.
Yeah.
Sorry. My name's Luke and I'm from Fisher.
Yeah, sorry. And remember, I did call on you as well. Yeah, you're fine though. Vivek. We'll now vote on the motion to move out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Okay, we will now vote on SL 252601 in order to amend the Constitution of the undergraduate student body to revise Article 4. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Okay, it passes. Now, item B. Okay. So this is the department director nomination letters. I'm concerned.
Yeah, so we can just, we should do it.
Motion to dispense with the reading.
We'll now vote on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Okay, the reading is dispensed with. You're now in question 8. And we have our directors here today. Juliana, Andres, Robbie, Owen's here as well. Owen? Oh, Owen. Yeah, Owen. So.
Elena Rosen, Ryan Hall. I'm just wondering, moving forward, will the student athlete relation, will that specifically go to a student on campus who is a student athlete?
Jerry.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely probably preferred given their experience. I hesitate to ever I'd say lock in one certain group or like identity or position for a given position, right? It's whoever the best applicant is at the end of the day. But I do think that given the relevant experience, that it's more likely than not going to be an athlete. And at least it is this year.
Thank you. We'll now vote on the motion to move out of questioning into debate. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? We're not in debate.
So if the nominees could potentially just leave the room just for this portion, that'd be great. Thank you, guys.
No, you're.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Crazy motion to move out of debate and to vote. Second.
So we will now vote on the motion to move out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Okay, awesome. We will now vote on the 25-26 Department Director nomination letters. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Awesome, give them a warm welcome. Awesome, okay. Great. Alrighty, we are now in new business. As you can see, we have items A through F.
I know that some of the current nominees for these positions are here right now, and or it would be ideal to kind of move them up as well. And then, so for those reasons, I personally maybe request just for the functioning of kind of the student union that items A through E are moved up into new business. Is also, yeah, just for those sorts of things, that would be awesome.
Motion to move items, or I seek unanimous consent to move items A through E out of new business and into general order.
Is there an objection on the unanimous consent to move items A through E into general orders? No, awesome, we're gonna move them up. Awesome, we're gonna start with item C. Motion.
Motion to dispense with the reading.
We'll now vote on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Okay, the reading is dispensed with. You're in questioning. And,
Motion to move out of questioning and into debate.
we'll now vote on the motion to move out of questioning and into debate. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Okay, you're not in debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie.
Maddie's role last year, and I think she's gonna do a great job.
Awesome.
I'll second that. So she was VP of operations last year. She's the youngest person to ever be a J council officer. She's learned a lot, so she'll be a great VP of elections.
Awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
No, I just want to say I've worked with Maddie a little bit last year. I'm starting to work with her more now. She's a great person, and I think she'll do an amazing job. Just to kind of pile on the recommendations.
Aaliyah Aplin. I'm gonna second everything that was said about Maddie. She's truly great. And I'm just really impressed by how a first year just came on to judicial council, dove all in, and she's dedicated a lot of time into her previous role, and I think she'll do a great job.
Awesome.
Motion to move out of debate.
We'll now vote on the motion to move out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? We'll now vote on the Vice President of Elections nomination. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Warm welcome. Awesome, it passes. Okay. Next is item E. We'll now vote on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? So the reading is dispensed with. We are now in questioning. We now vote on the motion to move out of questioning and into debate. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? We're now in debate if
Yeah.
individuals leave the room. Thank you.
Since we've added debate and into a vote.
We'll now vote on the motion to move out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Awesome. We'll now vote on the Vice President of Peer Advocacy nomination. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Passes. Awesome. Apologies. I don't know why I raised my hand. Okay, item E. This is Vice President of Operations nomination.
Motion to dispense with the readings.
We'll now vote on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Awesome. The reading is dispensed with. You're now in questioning.
I was questioning it into debate.
Second.
We will now vote on the motion to move out of questioning and into debate. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? We are now in debate. Leave the room. Thank you. Oh, yeah.
I just want to briefly say she was the deputy for this position last year, but she came to every officer meeting, so she was basically an officer, and I think she'll do great in this.
Awesome.
To pile on again, I know I'd argued an interpretive case before the judicial council officership last year with her, and she did a great job. Like, she's awesome. She'll do an amazing job in this position.
I was the former vice president of operations. She was my deputy. She was incredible, did everything, went above and beyond, and just wonderful.
Motion to move out of debate and into a vote.
Second. We'll now vote on the motion to move out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Okay, we'll now vote on the Vice President of Operations nomination. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? Awesome. Okay, we're moving to item F. SO 252602 in order to appoint acting sophomore class officers.
Seek unanimous consent to bypass parliamentary procedure and move straight to a vote.
No.
Yeah.
No, she can do
No
that.
objections? Okay. Oh, is there any objections to move past parliamentary procedure? And into a vote? If not, we'll now vote on SO 252602 in order to appoint acting sophomore class officers. All those in favor? All opposed? Same? Awesome. Thank you. Okay, now to item G. SO 252603 in order to extend the Committee on the Constitution. Need a motion to dispense.
Motion to dispense the reading.
Second.
We'll now vote on the motion to dispense with the reading. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Awesome. The reading is dispensed with. We are now in questioning.
So I was wondering, why does this say at the discretion of the student union parliamentarian?
Yeah, of course. So great question. So first off, just to provide a little bit of context, like this happens, to start off, this order happened last year actually. So I basically took the exact same text as last year and just replaced judicial council president with at the discretion of the student union parliamentarian. So currently per the student senate bylaws, the parliamentarian has the discretion to appoint members to the Committee on the Constitution, and the Committee on the Constitution kind of begins in September and expires at the end of the Senate term. So right now we're kind of in a lull period where there is no Committee on the Constitution to discuss any potential amendments to the Constitution. And the committee also consists of at-large members and members in Senate, and those at-large members impact our quorum count. And currently, I was an at-large member last term. So I include at the discretion of the parliamentarian for two reasons. If those members kind of drop off the face of the planet, for lack of a better term, or like don't really want to continue their role on the Committee on the Constitution, then and we were to extend it and not have anything at my discretion in that sense, then our quorum would be impacted. So if they didn't show up, there's a potential we couldn't conduct any operations, even if the committee was extended. And I was also an at-large member of the Constitution last term. So if we do extend just for all at-large members without an exception for discretion, that would mean that I would have 2 votes on the committee, because I would be both an at-large member and I would both be its chairperson, which does pose other issues that could like require like other processes to resolve them. So that's why I included the discretion, just because to keep the order as close as possible to last year's and for those 2 aforementioned reasons.
So just to clarify, you're not planning on like adding a bunch of new members or anything, it's just so people
Yeah.
can say they don't.
So it says that, no, so I can't actually add any more members to the Committee on the Constitution because the order only says the 24, 25 at-large members. So I cannot go and open applications or add anyone else. It just says that those previous at-large members are welcome to continue their role. And then we will then begin a process to select new senators in alignment with the Senate bylaws. So there'd be like an interest form and then elections process for that.
Motion to move out of questioning.
Motion to move out of questioning into debate.
We'll now vote on the motion to move out of questioning and into debate. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? We're now in debate.
I would just say I'm in full support of this. I sat on the Comcom last year and we did a lot of work with impeachment legislation, and I know there's plans to continue that next year. The at-large members are super knowledgeable, and I think just continuing them through the rest of this year is really important. Just because they're already familiar with some of that stuff, so it's easier to just start the transition in the fall instead of starting it.
What's your name? Sorry.
Lindsay.
Yeah, just really briefly, I know obviously I proposed it, so I do think this would be a good addition to kind of the student union practices, but I do know that currently there are some current like legislation on the horizon in terms of what should be amended in the Constitution. And so this is just a way that to create a forum for that debate to happen outside of the Senate meeting every Wednesday.
Aaliyah, I motion to move out of debate and into a vote.
We now vote on the motion to move out of debate into a vote. All those in favor? All opposed? All abstain? We'll now vote on SO 252603 in order to extend the Committee on the Constitution. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Okay, it passes. Thank you guys. Okay, we'll now go to announcements. Alrighty, as you can see linked there, we have a lot of submissions regarding changes to the Senate bylaws, which we have a harsh deadline, April 30th. So we are gathering an ad hoc committee, and the form is right there if you guys are interested. Yeah. Need a motion to adjourn. Oh, you have announcements?
Yes, Harmonia concert, while it is a couple of weeks away, it is coming up very soon. It is April 25th. And tickets will be going on sale April 17th, I believe. So make sure you're there.
Awesome.
Subs having Subs having Antasso this week, which are week-long events. Tomorrow we're doing a collab with The Shirt. On South Quad, we're doing like a tailgate, so you can come and hear about The Shirt. And then Friday is the big finale. That's like right after The Shirt unveiling. I think on Library Lawn, so go to that. Also, we have a fun event next Tuesday. We have a guest speaker, comedian coming in. Hasn't been announced yet. You can check out our Instagram for a little teaser. You'll get the hints. But yeah, tickets go on sale Friday.
The few seniors in here, we're having senior tag, assassin tag. So sign up for that. Pick up for the clothespins tomorrow. And then make sure to buy your senior week tickets. They were dropped a couple days ago, but if you guys have any questions about that, just email us.
Well, also judicial council, not judicial, wow, I'm not judicial. Wow. It's been a long day. Junior class council applications are due on Friday, so if you're a junior or you know a junior who wants to be on class council next year, make sure to know the black.
We'll now vote on the motion to adjourn. All those in favor? All opposed? Abstain? Patron address. Thank you for your time today.